Today, we're talking real estate, and we're talking to the one of the best in the business. Hi, my name's Troy Landwehr, and I help average people make above average money. And today, we're going to talk real estate with Brian Moses. Look, his credentials are so phenomenal. I got to read this to you. Okay, so listen to this. If you're in real estate, you don't want to go anywhere. This is one of the best trainers in the entire world. So Brian once was on the David Letterman show. He's a top 10 was a top 10 Caldwell Banker, 7 consecutive years, twice being ranked number 2. Okay. He's from New England, though. Brady was ranked number 1. Just want to throw that out. He's coached and trained and spoken for every real estate brand you can imagine. He's owned his own franchise, which we're going to talk about that. And so he's made over $3 million in commissions annually. He has sold hundreds and hundreds, actually thousands of homes, and he's sought after as one of the top speakers. Not only that is, he's one of Tony Robbins' main guy. He actually has helped Tony Robbins. He's on Netflix with Tony Robbins. I mean, this guy is the real deal. And of course, he's from New England, just like me. I'm from Maine. He's over in New Hampshire. And this guy is super, super successful. So I don't even care if you're not in real estate. This is a gentleman you want to talk to. This is a gentleman you want to take notes from. So Brian, thanks for coming on.
It's great to be with you, Troy. How are you today?
All right, Brian, what did I leave out? Tell people a little bit about yourself, because we're going to take a serious dive into real estate. If you're looking to invest, if you're a real estate broker, trainer, we're going to give you some tips. And the first thing we want to do is I know people at the end are going to say, I want more information. Well, let's give us some information right off the top. Where can they find you? Because you've got a lot of great content. And what I like is you give a lot of your heart. You just got a big heart. You got a lot of free content for people. Where can you send them right now?
We've got lots of links. We're on all the major social medias. We have a real estate page for real estate agents on Facebook. So definitely like and follow us there at Real Estate Training Breakthroughs. But if they want to consume some training and download some free materials, go to www.buildwithmoses.com/reveal, REVEAL. And there's a good training there that'll rock their world.
All right. So let's go. We're going to get into some advanced stuff here. Because if you're a realtor, there's a lot of people say, look, I want to sell more homes. I want to promote my brand. I want to become the hunted, not just the hunter. I want people seeking me out so I can make cha-ching cash, right? We want to make money. And we know things are changing in a changing world with the pandemic. But let me ask you this, Brian. What are some of the things that people come to you about? You've trained every single brand out there, whether it's from Remax, Caldwell Banker, you name anything. You've trained them all. What are they looking for you for? What is the main things that they come to you for, Brian?
Well, certainly they want to increase their results. So that's the number one thing. But there's a lot of coaches and trainers out there that help agents increase their results. But for me, it's not a numbers game. It's not throwing more crap against the wall. I really want people to be exposed to the quality of life that I've been so blessed to have. Right? Great finances are great, and I can help you do that. You need more leads. You need systems and processes. There are best practices for converting a lead to an appointment to a client to a buyer or seller. So those skills, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I've got everything laid out and documented. And if you just do the right things in the right order, you'll get the right results. And agents make a lot of catastrophic mistakes. They do the right things, but sometimes they're doing them in the wrong order, and then they're not getting the results that they want. But over and above that, I help agents be more business-minded. And the business serves your life. Most of us in the real estate industry, and it was true for me in the early years, Troy, we don't have a business, we have a job. We're on the phone 24/7. We're constantly on our cell phones, emails, check it. Oh, I got a lead. I got to answer. Excuse me, honey. I got to answer this call. That's not a business. So I help agents who are doing okay build a business so that they have some predictability in their business. They can take time off. They generate better quality of leads. There's two types of leads, right? There are the people that are doing something now or in the next 30 days. And then there are people that are thinking about it, maybe this spring, this summer, you know what, next year. And I like to tell agents, working leads that are 6 months or a year away produce income that's 6 months or a year away. And I have the secret sauce to help attract the people that are doing something right now, how to get them to call you. And when you get sellers to call you, you don't have to work 7 days a week, nights, weekends, and holidays, hunting, chasing, calling your sphere of influence, going, hey, Troy, it's been a long time, but do you happen to know anybody who I could sell a house to today? Like nobody wants to be bothered. Nobody wants to be pestered. So I don't do any of that. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work, but it works average to below average. You'll get those types of results with those types of methods. So, success does leave clues. There's so many trainers in this industry and they're well-intended and they do offer some good advice, but many of them have never sold a house. Mm-hmm. And my father was a plumber. And if I wanted help figuring out why the fuse box or the circuit breaker went out or we lost electricity, I'd call an electrician, not a plumber. Right? So my dad could give me plumbing advice, but not electrical advice. And there are real estate agents that are investing thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars a year in coaching and training to people who sound good, they're entertaining, but they've never sold real estate. And they're telling you, go knock on doors, go make more calls, call those expireds, call those for sale by owners, work your sphere of influence, deliver pies at Thanksgiving, and that's going to change your life. Guys, I'm real. It'll work. You'll get this much. You deliver 200 pies on Thanksgiving, you might get lucky. A blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Mm. But let's be more intentional, more deliberate, more proactive in our approach. Let's come up with some compelling messaging that gets people to go, holy shit, I'm going to call you. And I'm going to learn more about what you do. So that's really it. And then once you're making money, then we put it on steroids and we talk about, hey, let's look at all the different holistic areas of your life, your health, your spirituality. What is all this money good for if it's just sitting in the bank? Like, what can you do with it? How can you leverage it? How can you create wealth and financial freedom? So we're much more, I'd like to think that I'm much more than a real estate coach, but we start there.
Well, let me ask you this, and I think you are. I mean, that's why, which is, I think, fantastic. I think you did the right thing. There's so many people that sell programs that don't have experience in that field, right? And so, you've sold so many homes. You own your own franchise. If you're brand new, I'm going to stick to brand new, and then we'll get to intermediate and advanced. How do you go out and pick the right brokerage? When you started? I guess I'm going to ask you two questions because you started with Caldwell Banker and you became, for years, you were one of the top 10 in the whole country. And why did you start with them? Okay. How would someone pick, because this is a new, especially with the pandemic, we're 5 years advanced, things are going virtual. If you're brand new looking to get into real estate, how do you go out and pick the right brokerage for them? Because I feel like a lot of times the brokerage, it's all about them and not about the broker.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I started with Century 21, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I had just graduated from college and my parents spent their life savings to send me to school. And at graduation, they go, what are you going to do? And I go, I'm getting into real estate. True story. And they're like, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? You don't need a college education to be a realtor. But they were very supportive and they figured I'd last maybe a year. And that first year was tough. So I saw an ad for a career night, career in real estate. So Century 21 was doing this career night. So I went, I signed up. They showed me how to get my license. I didn't interview any other companies. That was a mistake. So, right. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate, interview the companies in your area. You can learn a lot from an interview and find out what they do for new agents. New agents need training. Anybody can talk to people, but if we don't have a compelling way to articulate a benefit, and it'll show too, inexperience shows. Imagine getting on an airplane and you see the pilot going, hey, like he doesn't even know how to fly the plane. It's pretty obvious if you or I were sitting in the cockpit of a 747, we'd be like a deer in the headlights. So a new agent needs training, and there's skills to selling high volumes of real estate. But here's the great news. Skills can be learned. Tying your shoes is a skill. We all know how to do that. Riding a bike is a skill. We know how to do that. Swimming is a skill. Speaking a second language. My second language is marketing. Getting buyers and sellers to reach out and call me. And the way that you do that is you don't go on and on and on and on about how hard you're going to work and how much great service you provide. That's the price of admission today. So you need to have something more than that. So I would ask your brokers or the companies in your area or the people that you know who are in the business what they would recommend. And depending on your goals, I might give you a different answer. So if you're just part-time looking to eke out a living, I might recommend one company over another company. But I think the question is ask lots of questions. I mean, the answer to your question is ask lots of questions.
I like that. So often in life, it's what's going to help you out is asking the right questions. And they'll find the answers will find you. Want to know the answers? It's all about asking the right questions. So I love that, and you're going to gain so much knowledge when you're interviewing those people. And so one of the things I found is that industries change so fast. It's just so incredible. I feel like 90% of the real estate agencies are completely outdated. I feel like the question is, how do people do business with people and people say people they trust? And the fact of the matter is, and something you picked up on is or mentioned is people don't do business with people they trust. They do, but people do business with people they know. One of the reasons I do business so much with Amazon is I know who they are. They're coming to my door too much. I'm addicted. Okay. And, but if I didn't know who they were, right? If I didn't know who they were, then I would not be able to do business with them. And so I think there are certain companies that have adapted to change in real estate. I think there are certain, and we had to talk about this, off air, that there are certain companies that have really advanced in technology. And there's some big names out there, big names that they have not adapted to change. And I think the reason I like you, Brian, and the reason why I tell people to follow you is you stay current. You're very current in the industry. And I think that's important too, because you got some of these old timers that made a lot of money and they can still make money, right? But if they teach someone new that comes into this business what they're doing currently, it's not going to work because they haven't adapted to change. Do you agree about that? Talk about that a little bit.
100%, 100%. We're very, very similar. We're brothers from another mother, right? You're a sharp guy, super successful. You think differently. You are non-judgmental. You're open-minded. I think that's important, a characteristic of success too, right? So many people, everybody's got an opinion. Everyone has an opinion, and our opinions we hold dear, and they're a belief that we have, and we believe something to be true, and many times it's not true at all. I'll tell you a quick story. I was watching Netflix a few weeks back, and I was watching David Letterman has this show, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. So I turn it on. I don't know who the guest is going to be. Dave comes out, he's talking, but I love Letterman, and I sit in my massage chair. I turn the buttons on. I'm getting a nice back massage. And it's Kim Kardashian. And I'm like,
come on now. Yeah.
So I go, oh my God, I don't want to watch this. I had all these judgments of Kim Kardashian. Like, sure, she's successful, but she's not my cup of tea. And she's married to Kanye West. He's certainly not my cup of tea. And I've got all these opinions of him. And her father's Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. Long story short, she starts talking, and I was hooked. She was a beautiful human being. Beautiful. Not externally, internally. Philanthropic, generous. So I had all these judgments, all these opinions about her family. She talked about her husband. I was wrong. I wonder where else we make those decisions in life, right? So often people say no, or I'm not. There's people that go, I would never get into real estate. Maybe you have opinions that are wrong. So same thing when you're interviewing companies. But here's one question I would have your audience ask if they're new to real estate. What do you have for training? And, probably would be well suited. And I'm not here to sell anything. I want to add value to your life. I will tell you this, though. There are different splits. You may want to go to a company and obtain a higher split, because there's companies that will put you on a lower split and they go, we'll give you training. Oh my God, we'll give you training. And Century 21 was one of them for me. But every office is independently different. So maybe rather than go with the lower split and take the training, go with a higher split company with more benefits financially for you, and you go out and buy the training. And you find somebody who you can hitch your wagon to, who's going to show you the shortcut. Do this first, do this second, do this first. No ifs, ands, or buts, and you don't even have to think. When I built my team, one of the things I'm most proud of is not the thousands of homes or the money that I've made, but the impact I've made in brand new people's lives getting into the business, where normally it would take them 6 months, a year to sell a house or two, to figure this shit out. And then they're selling 5, 6, 7 homes their first month in the business. So success leaves clues. So I hope that answers your question. A little long.
Hey, man, I got the crossing back. The Proverbs says, as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. Success does leave clues. I love those tips. And sometimes you have to go. See, one thing I hate when people get involved in a company and they feel like the only training they can get is inside that company. Man, that is such the wrong, because I'm involved in a lot of different projects, and most of my knowledge comes from outside of the people that I'm working with. I go outside. We don't have to make money on one another. We go out and get in for, there's no financial gain with you and I, right here. But I learn a ton from you, right? I learn a ton. And that's why you have here is you always want to seek and adapt to change quickly. And I love that. So let me ask you this, there's been some differences, last year at this time, the pandemic was really starting to pick up some speed here right about now. It was really starting to pick up speed. And then about a month or two, a year ago, we started going virtual. One of the things that I've seen is that, Brian, you and I aren't young, okay? But I like the fact that you're current, okay? So you and I aren't young chickens anymore, about the same age, but you're staying current in the field. And that's why I push people to, buy your program, start with the free stuff. You got a lot of great content out there that they got to get through. That's phenomenal. Okay. I don't care if you're a top agent in your area, in your state, or you're a beginner, you got some great content out there. But I feel like a lot of these millennials and a lot of these people, I get mixed up with the generations and all that, but they're not going to do business the way we're doing it. I mean, no one's going to tell you, your wife's not going to say, honey, can you stop when you pick up dinner? Can you stop and pick up a movie on the way home? We can all watch Netflix, right? On the way home. But people are not going to do business the way they used to do business in real estate. Things are changing. What are you seeing that what do you see different in the future of real estate?
It's changing so rapidly. It might be easier to talk about the things that I don't believe will change versus the things that will change. I read an article the other day that the world will change, not just real estate, but the world will change more in the next 5 years than it has in the last 50. Now, I happen to be 55 this year. So yeah, I am no spring chicken, right? But I've been around 50 years. I remember being 5 years old. I remember not having a cell phone, not having pagers, not having internet. So if you think about the changes in the last 50 years, imagine that accelerated, multiplied in the next 5. So technology is huge. We were talking about the bandwidth and the internet capacity, and you're really good with technology. But my 14-year-old son pointed out to me yesterday that I was hooked up to the wrong internet in my house. I was hooked up to the guest internet, and it wasn't as high powered as the primary internet. So we have to adapt. We have to be open to adapting. And those who resist change will be left in the dust, because change is the one constant in the world. The world is always changing, and we try to resist it because change is uncomfortable until it is. How many of us use a cell phone and we downloaded an app and we've ever been frustrated with that app and, oh, how does this work? And then it's uncomfortable until it is. So the changing, I would say technology is changing. People are getting information that fast, that like it's rapid and it's instant, and we're spoiled. So if you're not, when I first got into the real estate business, Troy, we had MLS books. So for those of you that are younger and never heard of an MLS book, it was like a phone directory. And nothing was available online. We didn't have realtor.com. We didn't have Zillow. And we were the gatekeepers. So if you wanted to see listings, I had the listings. Then it became public. Now it's on Zillow. People can get information that fast. So technology is changing. I mean, I can't predict the changes of the future because I'm not a tech wizard. My son probably could. He's talking about cars that drive themselves, and he's into all that stuff, and they're, doing all that. We'll be able to go to outer space in our lifetime, I believe, where you can see the curvature of the earth. That's kind of cool. So change is rapid. It's happening fast. You just better embrace it, or you're going to be left in the dust.
Elon Musk is going to force us to change, right? I got a Tesla hat back me. I don't even drive a Tesla. I'm like, I'm all over it now, right? He's the key guy for changing. So, all right. So let's we're going to have you back on here, Brian. I'd love to get you back on here to do some more training. And so real quick, Brian, where else can they find you? Let's go over where they can get you if they want more information, because you got things from sales to marketing, just how to, from everything from the beginner to the middle to the advanced. I know my guests are going to want to find you. Where can they find you at?
We have all kinds of coaching programs. We have a entry-level coaching program. We have an intermediate coaching program. We have a high-level business consulting program. But I really just want to add value. So I would suggest that they go to that website, buildwithmoses.com/reveal, watch a 40-minute training on how to get listings. How many of the people watching today are going, man, there's no listings in my market. There's no listings in my market. The truth is there are. Everybody's got one or two. Caldwell Banker's got a few. Century 21's got a few. Remax has a few. Weichert has a few. EXP's got a few. All these companies have a few. If you want more, you need to have good marketing. So this one training will blow your mind. Stop promoting yourself. Stop bragging about, I just got a listing. Nobody cares. And don't take offense to that. I did all that too. Stop doing the cutesy slogans and advertising and putting your picture on everything. Nobody cares. And as soon as your ego can be relaxed, if you're willing to relax your ego a little bit, and remember that you're in this business to add value and make money, right? We exchange our value for money. That's how we get paid. So all commissions. Then let's get talking to more people that need your value. So it's about marketing. And that video will blow you away. I'll give you a dozen tips, and I'll show you how to get those messages out to the community inexpensively. Agents are spending fortunes on promoting. I mean, just the other day, somebody sent me something. Hey, look at this. I just advertised in my supermarket. I'm on all the shopping carts. And I looked at it and I go, why would I call you? It's just a picture of them with their cell phone. Like, how many real estate agents are taking their picture with their cell phone? It's nonsense when we step back and look at what we do. But it's tradition. It's been done that way for 100 years. So it just keeps going.
Ron, you've never been on a shopping cart. Come on now. Never.
I did that too. Yeah. I made those mistakes. But now I'm not saying that's a bad way to get you. That's a great way to get in front of thousands of people. Right. What's your message? What's your message? Yeah. That's the secret sauce.
All right. His name is Brian Moses, and it's buildwithmoses.com/reveal. And we're going to have you back. Thanks for coming, Brian. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Troy. Always great to see you.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.